Once you've determined the topic for your self-paced lessons, it's time to plan the lesson itself. And there's a format that we found is helpful for this. There's a couple planning templates attached to this page that you can use, and you have a choice as to which one will work for you. In this one, notice there's a place to put your topic, then your standards, because everything still should be tied to the standards. So we've got our standards and benchmarks. And then down here, there's a little chart. And you would fill out each piece. So the I can statements would go in this first column. And then for each I can statement, look at each category of ideas that should be in there. Now, in backwards design, we start with what's the final summative assessment going to be? How will you assess what the student knows? So this could be a project, could be authentic assessment, a test, quiz, a paper, presentation. There's some different ideas listed for you here. Once you know your end target, then we back up and ask ourselves, all right, how are we going to have the student learn this? And in an online format, some things that work well are inserting a video, which you're watching right now, a screencast, which actually this video is a screencast because I'm recording my screen and talking. It could be links to documents or websites of outside resources. You can put text right in on a page or insert a PDF or something like that. Images can be very informative for students, especially if it's a technical content. You can embed a presentation like a Google slideshow in there that a student could click through. Students can go find the information, so you can give them a research prompt. Podcasts can be there, so this is more audio rather than visual. That could really be great for a music course or something like that. They could be an online game that you're linking to and many other things. But think about how you're going to have them learn the content. And remember, you are not there. It has to be self-contained in this course. Then it's not enough just to give them content. And we know this about learning. Students need to do something with it. So how will they process that information? How will you engage them in the content? How will they practice or apply that skill? Maybe there's an online discussion, so they have to talk about it. Maybe they need to create something digitally or not, and that applies that skill. Maybe it's an online activity. You link to something and they complete it, or an online simulation. There's a lot of great science FET simulations that a student could work through. Maybe it's a peer conference and edit. Maybe there is a human interaction piece that you're building into this course. That would require some coordination of timing between people. Maybe they write something or they have to research again. And then, is there a formative checkpoint? How will students know that they are making progress toward this summative goal that you have? So it could be a physical teacher checkpoint. So maybe when a student gets to a piece of your self-paced course, they need to come and check with you, and then you could check off on that piece before the next is released. It could be a student self-assessment. That could be where they're just kind of going through a checklist and self-assessing, or it could be a quiz that assesses it for them. There could be a discussion where they need to really explain what they know, and then as a teacher you could go check on that. Test quizzes again with preset cut scores, assignments or submissions that have to be put in, and then the teacher may want to check on that. It could be that once the assignment is submitted, it releases a page that has a little video tutorial where the teacher explains what the answer should have been so the student can check their work. Some kind of student creation, progress checkpoints. There's lots of different pieces that you can build there. And then finally, the student would turn in the summative. So you would do this planning for each of the I can statements. The other model is similar. It just takes out the summative assessment piece. I caution too much against that because you do want some kind of a summative assessment, but sometimes the formative can be built into the processing. And if you use this sheet, you'd want to make sure that there's some formative assessment there. So use one of these handy templates to plan your course.